The minority in parliament has described comments by President Akufo-Addo that the lack of development in mining communities is as a result of misplaced priority by mining firms as misplaced. President Akufo-Addo at the opening of the West Africa Mining Conference described as disgraceful the distressed state of mining communities like Obuasi and Takwa after decades of gold exploration. Speaking to JoyNews, the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, Adamutu Akilu, demanded an explanation from government on the 3.6 billion cedis paid by mining companies to government. In his opinion, the president's comment could spark agitations between mining companies and host communities.
But where I have a problem with his statement is when he was blaming the international mining companies for the distress or the underdevelopment of those communities. Now, first and foremost, these international mining companies are not philanthropists. They have come to make a profit, and as such, they come with what? An agreement. It is the responsibility of the government to ensure that we drive maximum benefit. And what are some of the government benefits? Royalties, dividends, corporate tax, income tax, surface rentals, and sometimes windfall tax. For example, 2017, the amount that government realized from mining is $3.6 billion. So if government has realized $3.6 billion in 2017, then the president comes to blame the mining companies. I begin to wonder that he's shifting responsibilities to the mining companies, because these mining companies in the agreement normally have trust fund, and every year whatever is they are supposed to contribute, they do it. And as a ranking member for Mines and Energy, I have the opportunity to have interaction and presentations being done. So I believe that the president is just shifting responsibility that he should take to the mining company. And that also goes to expose the mining company, because if the youth now think that it's the mining company that must provide roads, that must provide toilets, and that must provide all the development needs of the town, the likelihood that they will rise up against these mining companies is high. And I want to put it clear that the responsibility is not on the mining companies. You see, under the NDC, when President Mahama realized that this unbalanced development is going on at the communities, what did he do? He set up what we call the Mineral Development Fund. So the Mineral Development Fund Act 2016-912 was passed in 2016. And under it, one of the main sources of revenue or funds for this act is royalties. 20% of the royalties are supposed to be dedicated or released to this Mineral Development Fund. And they are supposed to have mining, district mining committees to make sure that proper development takes place in these communities and towns. Fast track to 2017, when President Akufo-Addo won. As we speak today, the board hasn't been constituted and inaugurated. So if he actually wants to develop these communities, this should have been the first board that should have been constituted. But as we speak, 1.5 years after he came to power, no board, and therefore it cannot run as expected. The other thing he did is that instead of 20% of the royalties, he brought this capping system. It has been capped to 12.5. If President Nana Akufo-Addo actually wanted to support these towns, Obuasi, Takwa, Pristia, to develop, he shouldn't have reduced the percentage of the royalty that should go to the Mineral Development Fund. He should have just left it at 20 or even increase it, because he has the communities at heart. The third one is timely releases is a problem to this Mineral Development Fund. As at the September 2017, a total amount of 479 million Ghana cedis had been realized. And as at that same September, only 3%, instead of the 12.5, only 3% had been released to the Mineral Development Fund. So they are directly suffocating the Mineral Development Fund. So I want to urge the President, President Nana Akufo-Addo, one, to immediately constitute and inaugurate the Mineral Development Fund Board. Two, to remove the cap on the Mineral Development Fund. Instead of the 12.5, he should leave it at 20. Three, he should ensure that there is timely release of funds into the Mineral Development Fund. And four, he should ensure that all the schemes under the Mineral Development Fund works. This is what I have for the President.